Hi everyone, this video is about how we integrate and how we settle into our newfound knowingness or our divinity once we're on the path of awakening. And even if you don't feel like you've had a significant moment of awakening, I guarantee you just the fact that you're here means that you are on the path of seeking, you are on the path of awakening and learning and knowing. And I know that integration with and acceptance of society can seem very jarring and overwhelming when you are undergoing healing and when you're receiving downloads of incredible spiritual truths. The real world can just seem to not marry up and we can feel a little bit lost. So hopefully this video will give you some encouragement, support and clarity when dealing with your newfound creative power. I mean, as humans, we are continually being bombarded with challenging and intense issues from our external environments. And as the light rises in us, it can almost seem like the dark is rising also. And in some cases, the upheaval of emotions and the new sense of knowingness can be so radical that it can almost feel like it's had an adverse effect, or it's paralyzed your old sense of willpower and direction because you just feel lost trying to navigate with all, these new revelations. But you mustn't be afraid of what the future holds. You can reintegrate and you can follow your divine purpose with passion. So let's explore how we do that, how we marry up these two worlds, really. So one of the main questions that people start to ask themselves when they begin to realize their creative power is, if I am really creating my own reality and I am the master of my own world, why on earth did I create any of my negative circumstances? Why did I create these challenges or these hardships or these sticky relationships? And this is a really great question, and it needs to be addressed straight away in order to keep us on that straight and narrow path of ascension. So some of you will remember the up, down, left, right, A and start cheat at the beginning of the Sonic the Hedgehog game on the Sega Mega Drive. Bear with me. That cheat always reminded me of the ritual of drawing a cross over your body and initiating the heart-brain connection. So you've got up, down, left, right, A and start, and you press A and start at the same time to access the cheat. If you remember the cheat, you'll know that what it did is it allowed you as the player to enter any level of the game that you fancied playing without having to toil through the challenges of all the other levels to get to it. You could literally skip to the very last level from the beginning if you wanted to with this cheat. Now, this is relevant because your present reality is just like this. Because at your essence, you are a creator who can infinitely create any reality they choose. Some of you will already be aware of this. And yes, at origin, you can design and glitch onto any timeline that you like. The only difference is that you can't remember being on the menu page. You can't remember that you have this ability. You can't remember selecting the reality or level that you're currently in, that we're currently in together. But nevertheless, we are in it. And we are knowingly or unknowingly abiding by the framework and coding of this specific timeline, this specific reality. So every level or reality that we exist in is just like a coded computer game level. It's an objective reality with its own rules and limitations or framework. But when we enter into healing and awakening, we are able to see through the coding. We can see through the boundaries of our particular dimension, reality, or level. And we can remember our infinite nature, which is totally cool and really exciting to know about unconditional love and limitless power. But then we can begin to feel confused or trapped because we realize that we still have to exist or experience life with these specific boundaries in place, and that we can only create our experience within the rules or framework or coding that are overseeing this particular dimension. The great thing is that when we ask ourselves questions like, why would I create this reality? Or why is XYZ happening to me right now? We're actually already conversating with our higher self. And our awakening is further blossoming through that exact inner dialogue. So do you see that we wouldn't even be able to ask ourselves questions like that if we hadn't begun to recognize ourselves as being creators of realities? So with true spiritual freedom and ascension from the karmic wheel as the goal, we should be pleased that we're already conversing with the higher self and asking bigger questions. Because by pausing to ask ourselves these questions, we're already shifting our reality. We're already changing our trajectory. We're already ascending. And you may not realize it, but your new questions are automatically shifting you into a new timeline. So keep with what you're doing. Simply by asking, did I create this? You are entering a whole new world, a whole new narrative strand that would have been completely different if you hadn't have paused to take that moment of reflection, to take that moment of questioning your innate power, your innate divinity, your innate rights as an extension of God in and through you. You've already become less passive and less victimized by your lot in life. You're already upgrading away from being a played pawn and into being a master player. What you're learning and teaching yourself, thought by thought, is the alchemy of natural world transformation, transmutation, evolution, upgrading, etc. It's so exciting, isn't it? And the more creative essences or seeds, words, Christ that we have available to the imagination, so the more energy that we raise up in the sacred secretion practice, the clearer these truths can become, and the more we can remember and be clear about our divinity and help to mold and shine a light on our collective future for all of us, one for all and all for one. So the second question that I find newly awakened souls ask themselves is, how is this serving me? Which is another great question, and it's a highly beneficial question, again, to be asking yourself. By asking this question, you activate your higher consciousness. You're conversing with your divine self. Because let's face it, who else are you even really asking? Just by pausing to say, who is this serving? Think about it. Who are you conversing with in that? So you inevitably connect with your soul and spirit perspective, your higher self. And it's a very subtle art, but we're doing it all the time, knowingly or unknowingly. And recognizing our life's lessons and being open to the most advantageous outcome at any given time aligns us with universal consciousness, with true source love. And as a result, we undergo spiritual transformations and we progress. Our trajectory continues to go upwards. We continue to ascend along our path of sovereignty. Again, you are already shifting to higher timelines simply by accepting that you are the creator of your external experiences, and the fact that you're seeking beneficial lessons and timelines because you see that you're bored of being a victim or you're bored of being powerless. One of the best things about all of this is that you're not the only person who's going to benefit from your new modes of thinking. We all will inadvertently raise each other up by being more open, by having more questions, bigger questions. And so the collective consciousness rising, the Great Awakening continues and builds and grows, and it's beautiful. Recognizing our roles in co-creating with universal consciousness is crucial. Otherwise, we just remain under the default settings of the framework of this universe, and that is not desirable for us. Really embracing our creative powers is sometimes slowed by the fear of delusion and detachment from the world. Some people get so caught up in the idea that they are literally the only thing that's real in their whole perceived reality. And that leads to loneliness, to isolation, to total detachment. And it's really not good for us as collective beings, like as unity beings who are connected. We're connected to everyone and everything, and so that sense of selfishness and our own grandeur, and that we're the only thing that's real, can just really just ruin everything. So by realizing our creative power, what we don't want to do is begin to think that like nothing else is real, or that nobody else matters because we're just creating them and we can change it at any time. That's not how it works. That is known as solipsism. Solipsism is not a true view of our universe, and that's why we do well to question what is and isn't serving us. Because by recognizing the ill programming, we immediately assist with the unraveling of paralyzing lies, and we begin to assist with the great collective awakening. We assist with the spreading of truths and shining light on love and creative power by working with true source love. Because the truth is that yes, you are real, but so am I, and so are all the other people and creatures in the world, and plants and all organisms. And whether we're asleep or awake, we are all contributing to the collective reality. I'll say that again. We are all, you and I and everyone else, are all contributing to the collective reality with our thoughts and emotions. You are not the lone master, and you are not the helpless pawn. You are a team player with your own light to shine and share. To summarize what's been said, settling in and integrating into your divinity can be done by easily following a couple of simple rules. First, we accept that we create our external experiences. And second, we say, hey, true source love, God, I'm ready to accept my creative power and be a light in the collective consciousness awakening. Sure, you know, a lot of people are still fast asleep, and a lot of people don't realize that all of their thoughts, emotions, and actions have consequences. And yes, the world can seem like it's set in stone and that we have very little influence at times. But this powerless perception is exactly what we wake up out of during our spiritual awakening, and exactly what we get to grips with and what we open up and explore so that we can transmute the things that seem so stuck and stone-like. And again, asking yourself, how does this serve me, dissolves existing debilitating timelines from reality and reroutes your emotional energy in the direction of freedom and sovereignty for all. Because you're being open-minded, your acceptance of true source love and your divinity and limitless power and your new imaginations inevitably work to also raise all of us up as well. And that is a beautiful thing. And that is cause and effect. That's the ripple effect. That's the butterfly effect. That's serendipity. So, you know, it really is a case of one for all and all for one. So just keep asking yourselves those big questions. Keep conversing with your higher self. Why am I doing this? Should I be doing this? Is this serving me? Is this serving anybody else? Is that true? Is that helpful? What do we gain from believing in this old paradigm? You know, don't be afraid to be outside the box. Don't be afraid to have those conversations with yourself. It's part of your journey of ascension, and it's so subtle. But in doing that, you are ascending more and more. So I implore you to keep exploring that and to be comfortable in those moments. So as always, I want to say thank you for watching, and I really look forward to reading your questions and comments. And I just love that we are all expanding our potential and we're all growing together. We're all moving into the new earth together as the earth begins its mitosis and the old timelines are left behind. We move with the new timelines. We are the open-eyed, open-hearted, open-minded spiritual beings that are happy to ascend and happy to embrace new ideas and happy to share our voices for good. So it's a pleasure to journey with you all. Of course, the links to my course, which is called Super Consciousness Awakening, on Teachable is in the description box below this video, and the links to buy my books are also in the description box as well. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and sharing is caring, so you know, share with somebody who you feel like might glean something from this video, who might feel encouraged by this video. That's wonderful. The books, The God Design is about the spiritual and chemical side of the sacred secretion. Elevation is about the alchemy, the human biochemistry and physiology alchemy that's hidden in the Bible book of Revelation, so we don't need to be afraid of that anymore. And the Cell of Life is more biblically focused on the sacred secretion or awakening within the body, and it's a lot shorter than the God Design, so it's a good one to share because it's more digestible, but it's all in there. And then of course there's the Regeneration calendar, which tells you your specific times when the moon will be in your sun sign, so you know exactly when to do your own practice or when to focus your practice and direct your practice more thoroughly. And yeah, again, please don't hesitate to email, to comment, and I'll do my best to keep getting back to as many of you as I can. Love you all. Namaste.